I've never used YouTube live streaming from my phone before, so I had no idea what it was doing, and it like would only let me do vertical. Then it was freezing, but here we are. It's actually working. I'm sure not a single person is watching this because it is kind of early for a lot of people, and I didn't announce this whatsoever. But what this is I'm just kind of testing out this format. I thought on Fridays, maybe Fridays, we're testing it out. I could do a little live stream in the morning, drink some coffee, and talk about some stuff that's smaller, not maybe something I want to make a full video about or can in the time constraints or whatever it is. For example, what we're talking about today is Camila Cabello's debut album, which came out today. We'll also talk about the Endgame music video by Taylor Swift, which I have a lot of thoughts on. And I also want to touch on the Lana Del Rey versus Radiohead not lawsuit, because I think it's interesting. I planned on making a video, but it's actually very time consuming to make videos sometimes, especially when you have a full time job. So this is just more casual, laid back chat about some stuff I've been thinking about. So, first point of interest is Camila Cabello's debut album titled Camilla. I've been excited to hear this for a while because there's a lot that's gone into the album being made and being what it is today. For example, it initially had a different title. It was called The Hurting, the Healing, the Loving, which is not really something that I didn't like it. So I was kind of excited when she rebranded it, renamed it into just what it is now, which is Camilla. She apparently scrapped a lot of the songs because initially her first single was Crying in the Club. That didn't do that great. I didn't think it was that bad, but it wasn't that strong of a single. And then, of course, Havana came out and everyone loves it. It's really, I love that song. So she reworked the album, put up some new songs. So apparently it was being recorded for most of 2017. They only put like finishing touches on it in November of 2017. December, beginning of December, she announced the new album would be called Camilla. And she said in an interview that the reason she's calling it Camilla is because this album is deeply personal. It's a story of how she got to know herself, stuff like that. And I think that's fairly accurate. I definitely think that comes across in the songs chosen. I was pretty surprised that the album had a lot more ballads than just upbeat Havana type songs. There is one other that is a little bit more Havana esque, but there's a lot of strong ballads. It is a very interesting choice to not have a full long album full of upbeat number one singles. I kind of like that it seems like she picked songs she genuinely was passionate about rather than just songs that would do well streaming. I'm just gonna look at my notes, sorry. She Likes Control is a good one. That's all I have to say about that. It's a good one. Um, I liked Real Friends. I liked the guitar on it. I didn't expect there to be guitar heavy songs, but there were. And I also wrote Selena Gomez. And this isn't shade at all because I really like both of them, but I think that on certain points vocally, I never realized it until now, I guess, that a lot of Camila Cabello's vocals sound pretty similar to Selena Gomez's, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just an observation I had. I wrote that it's cohesive. Into It is a good closer. I thought it was also interesting that it was a fairly short album. It's only 10 songs, and then another version of Never Be the Same. So it's technically 11, but 10 original songs. And I don't know, it felt like a short album, but it did feel like a good album, very cohesive. It flowed together well. It definitely was an album you could sit and listen through the whole thing and not feel the need to skip over any songs. I definitely didn't think there was any songs in there that you would warrant to be skippable. I don't know. Filming these live is actually kind of hard, but I'm glad I am. Okay, so it's definitely been received well. It has a, I think it's in the high 80s, 90s percentage ratings, mostly across the board. So it's been received really well. And I read on Reddit that it was number one on iTunes in 92 countries, which is a record for a debut artist, or no, a debut album from an artist. The record was previously held by Harry Styles. So, of course, Camilla has the Fifth Harmony pass that would mean people would know her more than they would if she wasn't in Fifth Harmony. But I still think that's impressive. So shout out to Camilla. So next up, we're going to talk about the Endgame music video because I have a lot of thoughts. I posted these thoughts on Reddit and was met with a lot of hostility. So I hope you guys will not do that to me. So the Endgame music video came out at midnight. Getting a little bit tired of the Thursday night midnight releases because I have to work on Fridays and it's hard to stay up that late. But Endgame, the music video, it was fine. Like, it was beautiful. It was visually stunning, just like the Ready for It music video. But as with the Ready for It music video, when I finished watching it, I had the same feeling where I really thought it was beautiful, but I felt like it was missing something. And I don't know what that was. I just felt like something was supposed to happen. And I also felt like the way the music video and everything's been marketed and hyped does not align with what the music video actually is, at least for me personally. It definitely felt a little bit fragmented in the sense that it was beautiful, a lot of quick edits. I don't know, I just didn't feel like it had the central theme that a lot of Taylor's music videos have had in the past. Even a music video like 22, which doesn't really have that much going on, but it's really fun. It definitely goes around the theme of the song. And the Endgame song, I guess, is pretty fragmented in the sense that there are three different people saying similar but different things. So I get it to a sense, but I didn't get what the point was. I don't know. It just didn't feel like it had the heart that Look What You Made Me Do and all these other great music videos have. And even like Out of the Woods, where not that much happens storyline wise. She's going through all these things. It's a physical manifestation of what the song is telling you about. So it just felt lacking to me. And that's, I don't know, like it was still really good and I liked watching it. It just, there was something about it that felt lacking. And I felt the same way with Ready for It, like I said. But with Ready for It, I definitely felt like there was a story arc in a sense. I definitely felt like they didn't explain what the story arc was and they kept it really vague. It's like when I watch all the Indian movies with my family and I only speak English, so I don't know what's going on, but I have a vague idea, but I couldn't tell you any of the specific details. That's what it felt like when I was watching Ready for It, where I liked it and I want to watch it again, but I didn't get it. Same with Endgame. I don't know. I really like Taylor Swift, so I am coming from that perspective. So before you get mad at me for that, I do like her. I bought tickets to see her. Very expensive tickets to see her, by the way. But I don't know. I feel the same way as a comment. Ready for It and Endgame look super expensive, but it's missing something. Yeah, I know. Do you know what it's missing? Because I honestly don't know what it's missing. I just feel like it's missing something. And they're beautiful music videos, and she looks amazing. She looks so beautiful. But I just, it felt like a soul. But honestly, I feel like it was missing just some level of a core to it. Like it was missing its heart. I don't know. Maybe that's the point, but to me, it was like a 9 out of 10. I loved music videos. Like I think Joseph Kahn is great, but these recent videos, they see the thing is as well is I feel like they are supposed to be cohesive, at least through how they're shot and the color palette used and all of this other stuff. But I also don't know what the underlying theme is. But I feel like there's supposed to be one. It's very confusing. But I like it. I like Reputation a lot. I made like 3 Reputation related videos, so that should tell you that I did like it. And Endgame, interestingly, was a song that I didn't like that much when I first heard it because I was really overwhelmed, I think, with the big Reputation part. But by the end of listening to it a lot, I really liked it. So, you know, things change. So, I have to go somewhat soon. This was a little bit shorter. Hopefully in the future, if this works, I'll be here longer. But I wanted to definitely talk about Lana Del Rey versus Radiohead, which I think is a really interesting situation. A lot of people have talked about it, but I think it's interesting. Lana Del Rey, for people who don't know, wrote a song called "Get Free." It's the closing track of her album "Lust for Life," and it's kind of the thesis statement of Lana's current era, I would say. And there is a pre-chorus bit where she sings the word. I'm not going to sing because I'm terrible at singing, but she says the words or sings the words. This is my commitment, my modern manifesto, and it does sound a little bit like "Creep" by Radiohead. So Radiohead, well, first, this was the first version of the story, was that Radiohead was going to sue Lana because they were demanding 100% of the rights or the profits or whatever. And Lana was trying to offer them 40%, but they wouldn't take it. And there was this whole thing where she finally, like, it seemed to me like finally just broke down and put it on Twitter and said, it's true, Radiohead is trying to do this. I'll see you in court, basically. And then Radiohead's lawyers or whoever said, no, we're not suing her. We just, I don't know. They're being very vague and kind of petty. I mean, it's definitely petty. Um, Creep, for people who don't know, is a song that is written by Radiohead, but it is definitely a song that was inspired by another song called The Air That I Breathe by the Hollies. So Radiohead doesn't even fully own Creep. And how are they going to turn around and sue Lana Del Rey for having a similar chord progression, which you can't copyright chord progressions, by the way, for having a similar chord progression to a song that they didn't even fully originally write. So I think it's ridiculous. I hope they drop it because it's not making them look good. I think a lot of people, even people like the Needle Drop, who I don't think is a huge Lana Del Rey fan, he was definitely on Lana's side, so that should tell you something. And most people seem to be because honestly, I thought "Get Free," like that one line sounded like Creep, but the rest sounded original, I think. This was a weird observation I had, and my boyfriend is the only one who independently also had this observation. But the chorus of "Get Free" has a similar cadence to it to the song "Last Christmas" by Wham, and it doesn't sound like it to me, but it just there's a similar quality to it. But I really like "Get Free." I think that's maybe why she's not performing it live, which is kind of disappointing because I'm seeing her in 2 weeks. I'll have seen Lana Del Rey live for the third time. I'm very spoiled. I'm fully aware. But I really wanted to see her perform that song because it's obvious that it means a lot to her. But what are you going to do? So I'm probably going to go. But I like doing this. It was easier than I thought it would be. I it's hard sometimes for me to film videos because I get caught up in my head and I reshoot the same thing like 30 times because I think I sound bad. But this kind of forces me to just talk freely about things I think about music right now. So that was kind of a test. Hopefully it worked. I had fun doing it. Hopefully you have fun watching it. And I'll see you. Oh, thank you. Said you did a great job. Thank you. I always get in my head when I'm filming, but yeah, no, it's so fun. I love doing live streams, and I definitely will do one hopefully next Friday. That's kind of the tentative plan. Does this time work or is this too early? I thought like morning coffee break because my whole branding when I started YouTube was Cooper Loves Coffee, like a Twin Peaks thing. That's my YouTube actual username. So I used to do coffee break videos. But I don't know. Is the morning too early? But I definitely want to do it on Fridays because I want to talk about new music and stuff like that. But we'll see. Thank you for watching. It was great. It was fun. And I'll see you. Well, I'm gonna put up a video on Thursday, and then I'll do a live stream on Friday. Can you see how windy it is? It's the weather in DC has been crazy. Have a great day. Bye. How do I end this? I don't know. Okay. Bye.